Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Guys on Gaffr. My name is Joel, and David and Abhishek are still with me. As you might remember, we are recording these back to back, so I will not be asking them how they are because, as I mentioned at the start of episode 2, I imagine not much has changed in their lives in the past couple of hours. So we're 2/3 of the way through previewing all the championship teams and their Gaffr assets. We have 8 more to go. We will try and be as coherent as possible through this final stretch, but we have been, I think we jumped on the call initially 3 hours ago, so we've been going for quite a while. So we will do our best, we will do what we can to get through these teams. The first of the teams on the list is an interesting one, and it is Leeds United. And let's say they have had a lot of people leave. They've had a mass exodus, and there are probably more to come. But we'll start with their incomings. One thing to note is this graphic was done at the weekend. We're recording on the 23rd of July. I expect quite a bit will change with Leeds between now and the start of the season. And in fact, things have changed since this graphic was created. Case in point, Jadon Bogle is now a Leeds United player, signed from Sheffield United. So that's a very significant one, I think. Joe Rodon has come permanently from Spurs for 11.8 million euros. Who else have they signed that's actually relevant? Rothwell's back on loan. Not back, he wasn't there initially, but yes, he's been signed on loan from Bournemouth. Who else have we got? Sinisterra's back from his loan at Bournemouth. Various players back from their loans like Aronson, Christensen, Robin Koch, Llorente.
Is Sinisterra back from his loan? I don't see.
Well, going on to the outgoings, he has been. I think he's been signed permanently by Bournemouth. So, to be fair, he's now gone. So Sinisterra's not there. Bournemouth have signed him permanently. Archie Gray, a big miss for them. Gone to Spurs. Glenn Kamara has gone to Rennes, a big miss as well. Mark Roca has gone to Real Betis. Charlie Cresswell has gone to Toulouse. Diego Llorente has gone to Real Betis permanently now. Robin Koch has gone. So some of these loan players have actually gone straight back out. Robin Koch has gone to
Shackleton has also gone.
I'm getting there. Getting there. I've got a big old list in front of me here, Abhishek. I'm getting there. Luke Ayling has gone to Middlesbrough. Shackleton's gone to Sheffield United. Hot off the press just this afternoon, Cody Drame has gone on a free to Hull. Sam Greenwood's gone to Preston. And Christensen's gone to Eintracht Frankfurt, back on there, I guess. Pervader's out of contract. I think that's it.
As of now.
Who's left?
I mean, their player list looks a bit depleted, I must say. Their midfield is looking very thin on the ground, and Nonto's linked with Everton, and Somerville is linked with West Ham, so they could have no midfield.
And Brighton as well.
Oh, is he?
Meslier is also linked with somewhere else.
They're going to have no one left. They need to buy players.
What the freak?
They are paying the price for not getting promoted last season, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we carry on talking about Leeds, we need to talk about their fixtures because we haven't said that yet. Portsmouth at home, West Brom away, Sheffield Wednesday away, Hull at home, Burnley at home. Mixed bag. Go on, fire away. What are your thoughts on Leeds? Go mad.
Use the money. Well, or is there any? Are they like just losing free players? Do they get any money?
They got quite a lot for Archie Gray, like 40 million or something. 35, 40 million. Quite a lot for him.
But
Liam Cooper has also left the club.
Okay.
He's a free agent now. He's not there. Junior Firpo is also linked with somewhere else. I mean, somehow, some way, they need to have these sorted out. Every season, these things can't go on with them. I really sympathize with Leeds fans nowadays. Since Bielsa has gone, nothing. They seem to be a selling club rather than a buying club now. When Bielsa was there, they seem to be doing really well. They seem to be holding on to their players really well. They playing. The attacking football hasn't gone down, but the uncertainties in various aspects apart from the footballing department, is really killing me in saying bad words for Leeds United, because they are a good enough team to play in the Premier League. They have decent amount of players, but as of now, they're paying the price as a good team, having a lot of good players, and still in the championship.
It's absolutely criminal that they didn't go up really last season, to be honest. Absolutely criminal the way they bottled it, really.
Well, what formation are they going to play? They have like 5 strikers. Some midfielders are probably going as well. Like 3-3-4.
I'm actually a little surprised that Ruteo isn't classified as a midfielder, given Whittaker was, because he played more like a number 10 last season.
I was an attacking mid, actually. Expensive.
Yeah. It's teams like this, along with usually like the relegated teams in the Premier League, they're quite awkward whilst the transfer window is open. You know, with like Somerville, you could have like a Ward. You know, remember James Ward-Prowse last season? He played game week 1, and then he went to West Ham, and you know people put him in their team because he was still there, and he did well. I think he got like 10 points game week 1, and then he's gone. And it's like, do you risk it with like some of? Yeah. Well, and then there's also Timothy Castagna, who just didn't play. So like, yeah. So like, it's like, do you just assume while he's still there, put him in because you know he's an incredible player and could haul, or do you just try and save that transfer down the line and hope he doesn't go off?
The thing is, you're messing up your team though with 12 million. Like, exactly. You have to like sacrifice either one of your 3 big strikers or like a super cheap defense. Like, what do you do?
So it's a really awkward one. If he's still there, come the night before game week 1, I'm gonna have a real dilemma. I think it's a really awkward one. If he goes before then, it's nice and easy, obviously.
Bit too easy.
I'm the thing is, I'm not gonna risk this season. I'm not gonna, because there are too many better players now from other teams who can match Somerville's 13-point, 15-point haul, especially at the start of the season. Now, I mean, let's take Middlesbrough. If Lathalat can match Somerville, then I can go a different avenue, because these things, I don't think Somerville is going to do some. I mean, Somerville is not going to do anyone any favors. If he's going somewhere else, he's not going to play game week 1. But he's utterly professional about it. He will be professional about it if Fark is needed. He's needed. If Fark puts him out for a half-hour cameo, he can still get you 10 points. So that's the issue with him. But yeah, that's...
Portsmouth at home is a plum fixture to start off the season. It really is.
Yeah, that's why these issues needs to sort out pretty quickly. I mean,
kind of hope they don't full carnage from the start. It'll be fun.
It would make it interesting. It won't be a pleasant experience either way, but it would be interesting.
Have to have this every season and it never goes well.
Gaffr is always a bit chaotic until the transfer window ends, like in terms of these big players.
There's always one player like Sar, for example, was that last season or before?
Yeah.
And he stayed, didn't he?
Well, obviously he left last season, but I think the season before, like a lot of speculation he'd go and he stayed, and
yeah. But do you think there's a higher chance that Somerville goes compared to like the thing that was Sar?
Yeah, I think he goes.
Yeah, I think Somerville goes. I think Noto goes.
Nonto, I'm not sure. Like, Nonto was linked with Everton all summer last season. It never materialised. We're linked with him again, but like, who knows?
I can see that, because I think Lindstrom has been booked for medical at Everton. So
has he?
Noto might not get.
Last I checked on Lindstrom, the agreement had been made between the clubs, but it was personal terms.
I think Romano tweeted it out. I think Romano tweeted it out in the past hour or so that deal has been struck. A loan deal has been struck with a permanent, with an option to or obligation to buy something like that.
Yeah.
So if
that means
deal is done, then I think
we might not get Nonto then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if we move on to like who we actually have, then Brendan Aronson could be good. He's very cheap.
If he stays, yeah.
7.5
Yeah, if he stays,
for Leeds.
he
Like
hasn't
that's
had a
amazing.
decent
If
amount of
he's like
season
the one
last
of them.
season.
Yeah, I didn't really clock how
All
he was
the-
at Union Berlin, wasn't he? I don't know how well he did last year, but
Yeah, he didn't do well. I think the manager publicly called him out or something like that. He didn't play well, so I don't know how he will help that much. But I think Bogle is a decent signing. If eventually Firpo leaves, because there is a talk about him leaving and going to Real Betis as well. I don't know what Real Betis is. I think staying at Leeds and shopping all those Leeds players they signed to already. They're looking for another one from Leeds. So Bogle is an interesting signing.
what's his price at Sheffield United? I forgot. It's not. His price
Yeah.
is 6.5, which seems about right to me.
Hey, it's after all, it's down to Daniel James and Paddy Bamford. Those are the two genuinely good options for Leeds.
Yeah. I like Daniel
If
James.
no-
I think the problem is if Nonto does stay though, there can be rotation there. And actually, at the back end of last season, Nonto was starting most of the time, and Dan James is coming off the bench. But assuming Nonto leaves, then I really like Dan James as an option for sure. Rutter, I think it's go on.
if the Lindstrom deal is done, then I don't think Everton will come back for Noto. They have too many wingers now.
I suspect we'll have other priorities. But yeah, in terms of Rutter, I think he's a bit expensive at 11. If he's classified as a mid, I'd be all over that because of the extra assist point. He can't finish, so he doesn't get many goals. But he's really good for bonus, and he gets a lot of assists. I think 11's a bit steep. I think there are the better options. I don't think I'll be going with him, but he could still do well in terms of assists this season. Bamford at 9 could be interesting. Could be an option at some point. Joseph at 7 is like if lots of players leave and he suddenly gets lots of game time, like he could be an option. But I don't think Bamford's going to leave, so I don't think Pirro's going to leave. I feel like they're ahead of him in the pecking order, so probably not.
Is Bamford a pick for you for Game Week 1 because of the fixture?
Not at the minute. But I think. Sorry, he's not in. What I mean is he's not in my draft, but I think he's an option.
Okay.
Like, if you want him, go for it. It's a great fixture. And yeah, Bogle could be a great option at 6.5. He's obviously so attacking. Another one I probably won't start with because I prefer Doughty, but could be great.
Cool.
Anything else on Leeds? Obviously, we've gone on a bit longer with this one, but they are an interesting case.
No, I think we've pretty much covered all there is to be covered.
And where are we having them in the table?
Depends.
Top 6 for me.
Yeah. If they keep their players, then can go straight up. If they're not, then they will probably at least get playoffs.
Yeah, probably playoffs for me. It depends. They could recruit really well with the money that they've got for Gray and push the top 2. But yeah, they'll certainly be top 6 for me.
Yeah.
Right. That was a bit of a chaotic one, but hey, Leeds are one of the most interesting teams. There we are. So, but let's move on to Plymouth.
Whittaker or no one?
Well, I don't know if you caught wind of this little bandwagon on the launch day.
Who was that? You didn't even mention who that was.
Ibrahim Sissoko,
Who is that?
on loan from Toulouse, has had 1 goal and 1 assist in his entire career. For a bit of context, FPL Irons, or now Gaffr Irons rather now, and Angus both had him in their teams based off of Irons watching a pre-season friendly against Orlando Pirates, and he did a step over and got an assist, and he was doing it as a bit of a laugh, for a vibes pick, and then suddenly he started popping up in a few other people's drafts. So it was quite funny. It's quite funny, just like their influence on the community is so strong.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's one of their incomings. He's a winger at 5.5. Mohamed Tijani is a forward from Slavia Prague that they've got on loan as well. Darko Gayabi is a central midfielder at loan from Leeds, who I've never heard of. And they signed Okbita from Swansea on a free. In terms of outs, Mikael Miller, left winger, has gone on a free to this field. There's no one else that's actually relevant. So I'm not going to say any more of them. They look like they're all squad players. So, yeah. Fixtures. Sheffield Wednesday away, Hull at home, QPR away, Stoke at home, Sunderland at home. So lots of middling fixtures there, I would say, with no particular toughies in there. Yeah, what are our thoughts, guys?
How is Mamba still 5?
Yeah, it's a good price, isn't it?
That makes no sense to me. It's way too cheap.
I guess how leaky they are defensively. Like,
But doesn't he play on the wing mostly?
Yeah, I guess wing back. But sometimes, yeah, I've seen it at times last season he was on the wing. I mean, he could have been a midfielder this season, for sure.
I feel like he was could have just been just as likely as Ricky Costello to become a mid, but he didn't, and he's cheaper.
Yeah,
it's a bit mad.
Yeah, he's certainly an option, I think. Yeah,
We'll probably have him, I guess. I think.
What are your guys' opinions on Whittaker? He's had a price hike to 8 million, but he is now a midfielder. What do you think to that?
I think that's a very good thing to do, because he will probably be a bit harder to pick as a striker, but he's a very good option as a midfielder because we have space for him now.
I agree. I was initially very surprised to see that, but actually, on reflection, it's the right move. He was playing on the wing last season, and he got 8 assists last season, and obviously the extra assist point is a bonus for him. He's obviously great for minutes. 19 goals as well. Like, I'm not seeing him in many drafts, but he's in mine. I think he's. I agree, David. I probably wouldn't have had him as a forward, like you said, for the same reason. But I like him as a mid.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's being underrated by the community at the minute.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because of that price hike, I think they're seeing that price hike and being put off. 27 attacking returns last season.
I think the reason that people are put off by it is because they think he was 6.5 and that's like a so big of a hike, but like he probably shouldn't have been 6.5 to begin with.
I think he was 6 actually to start with.
Oh wow!
I think.
Yeah, that could be right actually. Yeah.
I will not be on the Sissoko bandwagon. As much as funny as that was. There's a potential 4 million keeper because Cooper is rumoured with a move away, or linked with a move away, which would mean Hazard would, assuming no incomings. I mean, they would make well sign a keeper, and that would throw that off. But potential 4 million keeper in Hazard. Hardy at 6. He's on the watch list. He looked good at times last season. He's quite good on the bonus front as well, I think. He's another one of those budget strikers that I will be keeping an eye on, but won't be starting with.
Is Sorinola a new signing, or was he there last season? It's 4.5.
I think he was there last season. Yeah. I think. But yeah. Any thoughts from you, Abhishek, before we move on?
No, I think both of you guys covered it. Whittaker will be in my team as well whenever I made my first draft. He will for sure, and I kind of actually like him in the midfield now because for the reasons that Joel mentioned. I mean, we get that extra point for the assists that we were lagging behind last season, as he was getting all those returns. So yeah. And somewhere down the season, I will jump on that Sissoko bandwagon, but I have to see more. I'm not fully on the bandwagon, unlike some other people. But
he did score as well at the weekend, I think, in a friendly.
Yeah, it's because he's coming from a division where I'm not fond of, in terms of competition, but
He hardly
hey,
played
he
as
has.
well.
Yeah, he. I mean, we all saw the what for striker did when he signed from, I guess, from the French league. Who was he? And he did not perform well. He eventually got shipped off to Huddersfield, and now he's playing in League One. So the jury is still out, but he's an exciting player. He's a good player. He's another one of those French guys that has come uh, to the championship. So we'll wait and watch for me. But in the course of the season, might double up on Plymouth midfielders of Sissoko and Whitaker.
Oh dear, it's all very funny. This good old Irons. What was I going to say? Oh, I was just going to ask table predictions. Where are we having them?
Bottom half,
No idea.
close to fighting of relegation again because I don't rate Rooney as a manager.
Exactly
So-
my thoughts. They have a very big Wayne Rooney problem.
Yeah, If
I think he
Rooney
will
does.
get sacked
decent.
and they will survive, but they will finish bottom 6
Yeah, will survive just.
because the new manager will fix the issues. What about you, David? Where are you having them?
Yeah, mid-table, I guess. If they don't have another crazy Whittaker season.
Okay.
By the way, Sissoko feels like a bit like when I picked Adozi at the start because he did so many skill moves and had fun and just like he did nothing. And he was way more expensive. So if you want to, he's 5.5, but like don't do it because Aaron is
we are all basing on the fact that Rooney is not a good enough manager, but his players can bail him out of the job, you know. So
They
who
didn't
knows?
at Birmingham. That very talented squad went down. But yeah.
True.
Right. Next team. Let's go. Norwich. If this gets more and more hyper, I'm very sorry, everyone. Please bear with us. It's been a long old session. Right. They have signed a centre-back called Jose Cordoba from Levski Sofia for €3.5 million. Don't know anything about him. They haven't got any other incomings at all. Well, apart from a couple of loan returnees like Adamida. Outgoings. Christos Solis, who didn't even start really last season, has gone to Dusseldorf. Sam McCallum's gone to Sheffield United. Giannoulis has gone to Augsburg, so they don't seem to have any left backs at the moment. And Ben Gibson's gone to Stoke. Danny Bath is out of contract, and that is it. Fixtures: Oxford United away, Blackburn at home, Sheffield United at home, Coventry away, Swansea away. What are your thoughts, guys, on Norwich assets?
Seen lots of people have Sargent, I think, just because of the two fixtures didn't start, maybe.
I'm all over Josh Sargent. I think he could be. He's like first player in my team, pretty much.
Oh wow!
I just think he's too good for this level. And when he's got a run of fitness, he's at 9.5. He could be. I think he could become essential. It's a bold claim, but I think he could become essential.
Oh, well. It's a bit sad to me to see that Rowe is just gone up for so much. 8 million.
Deserved.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Sarah at 10?
Probably a needed price if Samuel goes, I guess. But he could justify that very much, I guess. But if not, it's a bit expensive.
Yeah, I think it probably is justified because obviously his bonus is so reliable. He's quite streaky when it comes to actual attacking returns. Like he could have quiet spells and then he could have spells where he's kind of returning a lot. I'm just bringing up exactly how many returns he got last season. It was 13 goals and 12 assists, 25 attacking returns. So yeah, it's definitely justified. Massively outperformed his XG, but then again, he's good at shooting, isn't he?
So is he linked away somewhere, or is he staying? Do you know about that?
Not that I know of. I might be wrong though. Yeah. So the thing is, there's some quite nice options at 9 with your Dan Jameses and your Hamers. So he's not in my team at the moment, but Oxford United, Blackburn is 2 really good opening fixtures there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's well priced. Row at 8, not one that I have right now, but I think he could still be an option at 8. I would say potentially.
Yeah.
Not interested in the defence. Defence wasn't great last season. And they're all 5.5. Yeah, Abhishek, anything you'd like to add?
Keep an eye on those Norwich attacking midfielders, I guess, in the likes of Rowe, Borja Sainz, Sarah is also an option, Marcelino Nunes. These guys will play a different role throughout the course of the season. So keep an eye on those players because Johnny Rowe has started the preseason on fire. He scored goals for fun already. 2 goals, I think, he has scored so far in the 3 games he has played. Borja Sainz has also looked lively. Josh Sargent is yet to play a game. I
See,
don't know
Copa
what has happened.
America.
Probably
I think he would have been at
yeah,
Copa
probably
America.
due to Copa America. Yes. Keep an eye on Adam Ida as well. I mean, the new manager that Norwich has signed, he plays quite a attacking type of kind of football. So all these attacking players, keep an eye on whatever they do it, uh, because they are decent options at decent amount of prices. But as rightly Joel mentioned, Josh Sargent should be your number 1 pick, judging by the look of the fixtures now, which has especially the start of the season. Apart from that, what I was going to say there, the defender that they signed, he played in the Copa America this year, and his team, I think he played for Panama, did quite well, although they did not qualify for the next round, but did quite well. So he's a good enough defender, especially on the left hand side. So probably he will play the left back role because they don't have a left back. So probably he will play left back, and if the manager plays him 3 at the back, then he will play the left side, the center back. So yeah, he's the only currently left back that they have. So that's that, I guess, from Norwich.
Where are we having them in the table?
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Playoffs. Yeah, I think they'll sneak in. Okay. Hull. Now. Hull are a little interesting, actually. Because they have no players. Inns. They have signed Ryan Giles on a permanent. And Cody Drammer today. So actually they've got their fullback sorted, which is interesting. I guess one of the most interesting incomings is a returning Oscar Estupinian from his loan in Brazil. Outgoings, Jacob Greaves, big loss, centre back, and another big loss, Jaden Philogene, Bidace, to Villa. Ozan Tufan has gone to Turkey, to Trabzonspor. Allsop, keeper, has gone to Birmingham. Ryan Woods has gone to Exeter. Billy Sharp has gone to Doncaster. He's 38 there. Dharma Traore has gone. Ingram has gone to Oxford United, the other keeper. So kind of without a keeper at the moment. Cyrus Christie's without a club. He's Aaron Connolly's out of contract. Carvalho was obviously only on loan. Zaruri was only on loan. They need to sign some players. Obviously, Giles and Drame are a good start. What's Drame's price for Leeds? Is he priced up for Leeds? Just having a look now. He is not. But fixtures though: Bristol City at home, Plymouth away, Millwall at home, Leeds away, Sheffield United at home. So first 3 are decent, and then 2 toughies. What is there to say about Hull? What do you think? There's nothing to say about their attack because they don't have anyone.
They're like Leeds but worse.
Yeah.
Poor guys.
I mean, we can talk about defence. Oh, and they've signed Panda, a keeper called Panda, but he's 5.5. So it's quite a lot. So he's a no-go.
What? It's weird.
So Giles and Jame, what do you think about those two? I guess those are the talking points. So.
I mean, it feels to me that Giles will be leaving soon.
No, he's literally signed from Luton. He can't be
Yeah,
going
but
to
reports are to be believed that Middlesbrough are in for him. I
Wait,
don't know whether
They've just bought him for 5 million. They're not going to sell him immediately, are they?
there's a thing going on around regarding Giles, Middlesbrough, and Hull. I don't know much truth about it, but every paper in England has seemed to be covered it up around. So
Goodness me.
it remains to be seen whether he stays at Hull or not.
it's like that. It's like that Simpson guy comes in the door, puts his hat up, takes it up, and just goes back out the door.
Yeah, it's really weird when you think about it. So they need to sign players, and I think the EFL Fantasy Board had mentioned that they have recalled Estupinian back, so they have him. But they do need some players. They're really light. They have sold a lot of players. They have a lot of money which they need to spend wisely now, I guess, so that they make a competitive squad. Their last manager, Rossinier, got a new job in France with Strasbourg, I think. I don't rate the current manager that Hull City got. He was managing a side in the German Bundesliga second division. Didn't quite do well, but didn't do that badly as well. So it's a meh signing, I would say.
Weird to sack a senior, wasn't it? Weird to sack him. Strange.
Yeah, it's a weird sacking. After the performance that Hull put out last season, with the kind of players that they had, all those young players that they got on loan. I mean, they really need to do something right, whether it's the transfer business, whether it's the right choice of manager, something needs to be done well. But hey, they have signed a new manager. Let's hope that they do well this season. But for starters, they need some players. They really need some players badly.
I think, there's no point really commenting on their attack until they've signed some players, because you can only assume it's going to look very different once the transfer window's over. Have you got anything else to add, David?
No, I don't think so.
Where are we having them in the table? They feel really difficult to predict.
The bottom half, I guess. Might even struggle to stay up, I guess, with so little players.
I'm going to assume they signed some players and put them top half, like 10th-ish. But if they don't sign players, then I agree with you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 4 more teams to go. The next one is West Brom. Ins for West Brom. Hegem. I feel like I've heard of him, but I can't remember where from. I feel like he's familiar. But he's been signed.
That's a different Hegem.
Okay.
You're thinking about Vegard Hegem.
Who?
Champman Vegard Hegem.
Oh, yes. That's right, I've heard the name.
The Liverpool guy.
Yeah, that's it. Not him. He's been signed from some Swedish club that I'm not even going to try and pronounce. They've signed defensive midfielder called Diakite from TSV Hartberger, an Austrian team, on a free. They signed goalkeeper Joe Wildsmith from Derby. Out. Ethan Ingram, don't even remember who he is. Nathaniel Chalobah's a big one, I guess, out to Sheffield Wednesday. And a few players out of contract. Eric Peters, Martin Kelly, Adam Reach, Matt Phillips, all out of contract. Fixtures. QPR away, Leeds at home, Stoke away, Swansea at home, and Portsmouth away. So quite good fixtures aside from the Leeds one. And we have fan input from @TomPFF, community team manager the last 2 seasons. And he's given us the rundown on West Brom, and again, it's gone into quite some detail. he has listed the same transfers. He said out Kipre. It's not confirmed, but apparently that sounds likely. Kipre will also leave, and also Yokuslu might go, apparently. So that they are two quite key players that would go. He says the transfers in are unknown to him. He assumes Hegem will compete with Ajayi to play alongside Bartley, as Kipre has not signed a contract and is technically a free agent. With Diakite brought in for midfield cover along with Malumbi, who is back from injury. Wild Smith will be the backup keeper with Griffiths going on loan to Bristol Rovers. The likely lineup should be the same as last season system-wise, looking a bit like the following, unless they sign additional players, which he does think is likely. He does think they'll sign additional players, but as it stands, he's saying goalkeeper being Palmer, as expected. Furlong at right back, centre backs of Bartley and Ajayi or Hegem. He's not sure who. Left back Townsend, obviously. Central midfielder Yokuslu if he stays, if not Malumbi. Mowat as well. Left wing Fellows or Grant. Swift in the camp position, in the number 10 position. Right wing Wallace or Fellows, so Fellows could kind of play on both sides. And then up top Thomas Asante or Madger. So there seems to be a bit of an unknown factor in terms of the starting lineup. Diangana is out for 4 to 6 weeks due to injury, so he'll miss the opening 3 games. In case you're wondering why he wasn't read out. His favourite assets. He really likes Tom Fellows at 7 million. He was great last season in his breakthrough year, and he expects him to continue improving. Nicely priced, so if he goes on a run, he'll be in most people's teams. Other than that, not too sold on the rest of our assets, he says, other than Furlong, as we will likely rotate attackers quite a lot, and our defence is quite expensive, so definitely a wait and see, depending on who we sign for the start of the season. Thank you for that, Tom. So yeah, what are your thoughts on West Brom assets this season?
I just wish DK wasn't injured. Poor guy.
He's always injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite a bad one last time as well.
Yeah.
Like ripped something.
One thing to note of, I think I saw it in the transfer columns in some of the papers that Asante Samuel has been linked with Southampton, with a move to Southampton. So if he leaves...
Sorry, you mean Thomas Asante?
Yeah. Thomas Asante has been linked with Southampton.
Okay.
So if he leaves, then they're very light up top. Because they'd only have Maja then, because DK has his injury issues. I don't know how fit he is. Then they'd only have one centre forward. So they can't wait for Credit Diangana to come back soon. But he has to be fit to start the games. So then it becomes quite a bit of trouble for Carlos Corbejan to select his attacking players, because who'll score the goals then? So they really need Carl Grant to step up to the plate. They can't move him off due to his wages as well, and due to the new regulations, they can't move him home pretty quickly because he's in such he's on such high wages. So he needs to come good now. Otherwise, they will be tough. It will be tough in terms of who will produce the goals.
Yeah, defense quite expensive. Maybe Furlong will be an option, but I do prefer Van Nieuwijk, and also prefer paying a bit extra for your Doughties and your Bogles. So I feel like we wouldn't have space for Furlong or Townsend. Midfielders have gone down in price quite a lot. Obviously, Diangana's had a bit of a price bump, but Fellows at Swift at 7.5 and Wallace at 7 are big price drops. Big price drops. They could be value if they do well this season, but as Tom seems to be quite positive on Fellows, he could definitely take minutes away from people like Wallace. Fellows is not someone that was on my radar, even though now he mentions it. Obviously, I remember now he did do very well in the second half of last season. So he's definitely one to be on the watch list. Particularly, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need someone between 6 and 7 million. And obviously Rodoni's one that's in there at the moment, but maybe he could be under consideration as another one in that bracket that could stand out. yeah, very talented young player, and if he is only going to improve, then maybe he will emerge as an option this season at times. Not interested in Thomas Asante or Maja up top at all, really. And that basically sums up my thoughts on West Brom. David, do you have any other thoughts on West Brom?
It's a shame the midfield and forward slots don't match up to the defense because it like seems so solid until they go further up. So they can't like defend themselves to the decent position. So I don't know if they have the money to sign a better striker. If they did, they could be a bit better. But like, I don't know. Could they play Dengana as the striker? Have they done that before?
Doubt it.
He's more of a winger.
Not really got the build for playing up top. Or
No, that's true.
So I guess Maja will lead the line. Abhishek is not going to speak to us and tell us where he thinks they'll be. He says they'll be top half in the chat.
I think there will be middle, maybe lower, actually.
Interesting. I'm having them as in the playoffs.
Oh, again. Wow. Yeah. Really?
Yeah. I was trying to work it out earlier. I was trying to make sure I've got 6 teams. I'm going to put them in the playoffs. They're always pretty solid at the back. Corbrand's a really good coach tactically. Similar squads. I don't think it'll be comfortable. I think, they'll be in competition with your Middlesbroughs, your Coventry's, etc. But I do think they'll probably make the playoffs again. Okay, Abhishek's going to take a quick break. I guess we'll carry on. In the meantime, I'm saying playoffs. So actually, that's the most variation we've had in predictions yet.
Wow,
good to have a bit of variation. I guess let's carry on. And Abhishek will be back with us shortly. Watford is next. Okay, transfers. They have signed a guy called Rocco Vata from Celtic B. I don't think we need to know much about him. Musa Sissoko's come back from Nantes on a free transfer. He's now 34 years
so
old.
Fun.
It's fun, isn't it? Who else? An 18-year-old forward from Black Stars. A centre-back on loan from Udinese called Antonio Tikvic. Imran Luzer's back from his loan at Lorient.
Oh.
In terms of outgoings, Ismail Kone has gone to Marseille for €12 million. Ben Hamer, backup keeper to Sheffield Wednesday. Ashley Fletcher's gone to Blackpool. Jake Livermore is out of contract. So, not loads to speak of, really, in terms of changes at Watford. Fixtures-wise, Millwall away, Stoke at home, Derby at home, Sheffield United away, Coventry at home. So, 3 decent ones to start with, and then a couple of toughies. I'm sure it's going to miss this bit, but I do have some... I think it's our last bit of fan input from Roberto Hollis. Thank you, Roberto, for sending this in. It's really helpful. This is what he's said. In terms of fan expectations... another year of consolidation and a mid-table finish is what he expects, kind of evolving the team and developing a style under Tom Cleverley in his first full season. He thinks in terms of style of play, it's likely to be a 3-4-2-1 system, which can switch into a 3-4-1-2 at times. Assets to target include Kayembe, who added goals to his game last season, Andrews, who is quite cheap, and an attacking fullback, and Rajovic, who although has lower expected minutes, is quite a handy squad player who was our top scorer last season. Any thoughts on Watford, David?
I remember that Lusa was a bit of a popular pick last season, I think. And before that, maybe.
It's really annoying. He hauled in game week 1 and then was never seen again.
Yeah.
I didn't have it.
That was the way that went.
We're on Watford now, Abhishek, by the way.
Okay.
But yeah, I can see the name Chakvetadze because I think he was quite good in the Euros for Georgia. So he's probably a new one.
Lucer's only 6.5. It's not bad price wise. Espria 7.5. He's probably leaving though. He's been linked with Saudi and he's really young. Such a shame, but
I mean, Ince? Is that like the guy that played for QPR? Or is
Yeah. Yeah, not really interested in him at 6, but Ken Sema at 7. Yeah. They just don't have enough goals as a team for me, do they? Do they really?
No.
To warrant any of these. Rivich and Bayo rotated a lot last season up front, so probably not interested in either of them. It's just whether you want to go for a defender. Obviously, they're a lot cheaper this year. 5. Backman's only 5. Is he a standout
Ooh.
5 million keeper there?
Maybe.
Can you go 5 million?
That's not bad, actually.
So him and Andrews.
Nah, I'm not going Watford defense. For me, it's either Chuck with Georgie, the
Georgian
hold on, let me
dude.
pronounce
Georgie the Georgian dude.
Georgie Chakvidadze. Yeah, I got it right. So it's gonna be either him or
That's his name
they
from now on.
sign the new kid that's Rocco from Celtic. These are the two options that I'm looking at.
You're not looking at Rocco
But from
Vattel, are
that-
you? Surely not. 18-year-old, 19-year-old from Celtic B.
He's the new
€2,000.
He's the new Dembele, man.
Squad player, surely.
He seems like a decent option to me. But it's
Based
a way
on
to watch.
what?
I'm not looking.
Have you watched him play or not?
Yeah. A couple of videos.
But yeah,
I've
scouts
watched him.
everywhere.
No,
Did you
I'm-
picking him
a
on
couple of
Football
videos
Manager or something?
No, a couple of live videos I've watched him.
Oh,
Couple
okay.
of live videos. So he looks like a decent option, but remains what Watford and Tom Cleverley wants out of him. It depends on that.
Let's
But-
put it this way. He's a good option from the bench, not for our fancy teams.
Maybe.
You never know. Maybe he's
Be
going to be
decision.
the new 4.5 million bargain, the Jonathan Rowe of the season. You know, maybe
Yeah,
Abhishek, you're
Jonathan
having
Rowe
moments of
was fine.
genius here, but
Yeah, it remains to be seen. But apart from Chuck Vedadze, I don't think I'm going anywhere. I'm not looking forward towards the defense, even though they're cheap. I'm not looking forward because they're far better defenders. I mean, who you gonna? Andrews? Did Andrews get a price rise of 0.5?
he's 5 now. Was he 5 last year?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Could be okay.
2.5. Yeah,
Reliable at least.
can be okay, but depends on how they start. Bio seems like a decent option, but there's too much rotation up top with Rejovic, and they found a new guy. And I think they have quite a few youngsters as well. So, yeah, I think apart from Chuck Vedadze, I don't see him. Imran Lauza can be a decent option. He did quite well last season. He can be a good option, but yeah, apart from Chuck Vedadze, I don't see anyone getting into my books as of now from Watford.
Okay, where are we having them in the table?
Yeah, mid-table.
Bottom.
Yeah, bottom.
As in bottom half, you
Yeah.
mean? You don't mean bottom, do you?
Yeah, how about half?
Yeah, I'm with you, David. Bottom half. They just seem to be going backwards, Watford, since
They
getting
always do
relegated.
that.
They got relegated from the Premier League, and they're just getting worse. and
They
worse.
decided to be average and stuck with it.
The problem is they're not scoring enough goals. They're not. They're missing Dini so much. They're not able to
Oh,
replace. They haven't been able to replace him.
Yeah.
We cannot have racing. We cannot.
Yes.
We cannot.
I watched a fair bit of Championship football last season. I don't remember watching any Watford games at all. It's a very boring
not
team.
Oh wait, what? Wasn't Zinkernagel there sometime?
Yeah, a couple of seasons ago it was, yeah.
That's why they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
All makes sense now.
Obviously, that's...
Zinkernagel was there back when Watford was doing wonders.
They say they were so good he was on the bench. Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they even went up, I think, with him and sold him, and then it went way back and just like no. Let's move on.
Right. We've got 2 teams left to go. We're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there. We've got one rubbish team, but first we've got Burnley. Burnley.
Jeez.
Who
Can we
knows?
just go
What a
with
segue! I thought he was going to say what a rubbish Burnley team was.
No. The last team's rubbish. I didn't mean Burnley was rubbish. That's not what I meant. Burnley are far from rubbish. Burnley transfers. They have signed a winger called Mike Tresor from Genk for like 18 million euros. So that's quite a hefty fee. So I don't know much about him, but interesting. They've signed Maxime Esteve, a centre back from Montpellier, 12 million euros. Pretty good fee.
Yeah, these are all signings from last season. They're just repeating it.
I don't know.
These are signing. Yeah, Esteve was already there with Burnley. These are not the new season signings. The last season signing. They were loaned out.
Oh, they've signed him permanently. He was on loan last season.
Yeah.
To be fair. They've signed a centre forward called Andreas Hutonji. I've definitely
That's a
butchered that
decent
pronunciation.
sign.
From
That's a decent signing.
from Cannes, 4 million euros. Lucas Perez, Brazilian left back from Santos for 2.3 million.
That's also a decent
Irons has
signing.
put on my radar. He has said look out for him, based off of some vibes and it's a bit of a Sissoko thing, like based off of some vibes and some videos. Let me go through the list first before we talk about options.
Okay.
Hladky from Ipswich has been signed. They've also signed on a free a right back called Shrandi Sambo from PSV Eindhoven. Don't know anything about him. Weghorst is back from his loan at Hoffenheim.
Let's go.
Peacock Farrell's back from his loan in Denmark. And outgoings, Muric has gone to Ipswich, so they've done a keeper swap. Ipswich and Burnley. In fact, I said Peacock Farrell is back from his loan, but he's actually gone to Birmingham after that. Charlie Taylor's gone to Southampton on a free. Jack Cork is out of contract. Oh, okay. Assignon was already their player and he was out on loan as well. So it shows what I know. And Assignon's obviously he was on loan, so he's gone as well. Fixtures: Luton away, Cardiff at home, Sunderland away, Blackburn at home, Leeds away. So mixed, quite mixed. Fire away, guys. What are your thoughts on Burnley? Tough lineup to predict, aren't they?
Sounds like a very good team though. Like they have so many players and like very balanced. What manager do they still have company?
A list of midfielders. Sorry, what was that name?
Which manager do they have now again? Is it company still?
No, company's gone to Bayern Munich, hasn't he?
Yes.
Who's their manager now?
Scott Parker.
That's it. Oh yeah, I don't really rate him as a manager.
Is that a very bad thing for them, Scott Parker?
It could be better, could be worse.
But Weghorst. Legend.
Yeah. I mean, for me.
Go on.
For me, Burnley seems like the signings that they've made now. I mean, they really were decent signings. I mean, the forward that they signed, he was the top scorer in the French Division 2. I think second division, he was the top scorer. I think he scored about 20 plus goals. So, sorry, he's gonna score goals. Squad Twine finally will get his chance to showcase his talent that brought him to Burnley in the first place.
He's 6.5.
I'm not sure he starts in that team, but anyway.
He should start in that team. They don't have anyone of his caliber to start anyone.
Have you seen that list of midfielders on Gaffr website?
None of them will stay.
Sanderberg, Goodmanson.
This is just loan some of them to Leeds. They need them.
Brownhill.
Josh Brownhill will play as a different CDM. Ramsey, they're gonna sell him for somebody else.
Probably Berge probably starts.
There was Zaruri. Zaruri is a decent, very good option alongside the option. But Twine should stay. Twine should play in that squad. I know you're gonna tell me about Benson and Samuel Bastian, the two guys that did wonders when Burnley was in Championship, but I still think it will be Twine, Zaruri, and somebody playing that 10 role behind that forward that they signed now. Zeki Amaduni is also a decent forward he's a full-fledged international for Switzerland as well. So they have quite a few players that looks like good players in for Gaffr and in the championship. So I think they will be decent and once again fighting for the title, I guess.
Yeah, when I look at their attack, I am confident that there will be a good midfield option and a good forward option this season. Which of those players will be said good option? I have no idea. I don't know who's going to start between Foster, Weghorst and Amdouni, to be honest. And I don't know who's going to start out of Kulio or the Benson, Zeruri.
Madoni is going to. It depends on who they sell now because they're now at a position and those players will not stay in the championship after the Euros that their respective countries had. So they can get decent amount of prices if they sell them rather than loaning them. But, yeah, probably they are on the path on selling them because they spent quite a fortune on the new forward, and the two wingbacks are really decent. The one from Eindhoven and the one that came from Brazil, they're really good. Watching some highlights, he didn't play for I know a first 11, but he played for some other group level games, so he was decent. So
I suspect Connor Roberts will start at right back, though. To be honest,
is Connor Roberts still there?
Yeah, he was only on last season.
They have Michael Obafemi as well.
Yeah, he won't start.
Jeez, that's a lot of talent. They have Vitinho as well. Fond memories.
Yeah, I think Connor Roberts could be a great option. We know what he's capable of from previous seasons in Gaffr when he was at Swansea and when he was at Burnley as well. So yeah, he's massively on the watch. I don't have him in my team, but because Doughty is just monstrous. But Connor Roberts looks good. I guess there's opening fixtures with Luton and Sunderland in the first three, and Leeds as well in Game Week 5. You're probably waiting on them, but I do think Connor Roberts could be great.
But do you think they will have hard games versus Luton, Sunderland, Leeds? Will they be close, or will they are so solid? So why should they be?
They're all away from home. I can see them concede. I can see them in quite open games with quite a lot of goals.
Yeah. So you could get some goals from them, even though they have hard opposition, because it's you can see that red fixture and think I can pick another player that's not. Because many are picking, for example, Morris instead of Weghorst because we don't know if he starts, but it's the same fixture.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. And if I had a better indication of who was going to be the standout asset for Burnley, I would not be opposed to having them in my team. I wouldn't be put off by these fixtures particularly because they will score a lot of goals, but it's just don't know who to get.
Have they played in the preseason that we know?
I'm sure they have. I haven't been really up to date with preseason.
No, me neither. Yeah, but exciting in any way, this team.
Where are we having them in the table?
I reckon they are top 2, actually.
Yeah, they will fight for the title for me as well.
Yeah, same for me. Obviously, if we're splitting them into the quadrants top 6, pretty much a dead cert, they'll be in the promotion mix. I'm sure as well.
Yeah, pretty sure they won't need playoffs. They have such a strong squad for a long season, so.
Yeah, a very good squad for this level, isn't it?
It's way too good.
Cool. We have one last team, and it might be a quick one. Derby.
Sure. Next.
Derby County. Done. The end. Bye. No. We'll give them a bit. We'll give them a little bit of time. In terms of incomings, Ebu Adams. I'm looking at the outs. That's why. Ebu Adams, central midfielder from Cardiff. Who else have we got? Ben Osborne coming in from Sheffield United. That's an interesting one in the midfield. Jerry Yates on loan from Swansea. They've also signed a central midfielder called Gujmin from AZ Alkmaar, and they've signed Caden Jackson from Ipswich actually on a free. That's potentially interesting. I imagine he might start for them. I don't know, or maybe it'd be Yates. Anyway, he's a decent option. And also Corey Blackett-Taylor on a free from Charlton. He's a right winger, but I doubt that's of interest to anyone. Outgoings, Louis Sibley, promising youngster for them, has gone to Oxford United. Also lost Wildsmith to West Brom. Corey Smith to Cambridge. Conor Hurahan has gone to Barnsley. Dwight Gale is out of contract. Martin Waghorn is out of contract. And their fixtures: Blackburn away, Middlesbrough at home, Watford away, Brighton, Bristol City at home, Cardiff at home. So not too bad fixtures wise. Do we have any interest in any Derby assets, guys?
Is the 4.0 defender Rooney, is that Rooney's son or is it not?
I have no idea, to be honest with
He
you.
kind of looks like him. That's why I'm asking.
He's his cousin.
I don't
He
think
he's 20 years old, so he probably. But it was like uncanny how a bit like they were.
Yeah, he's his cousin, I think.
But which position did was they playoff that came up, or was it?
second place.
Yeah,
It wasn't
No,
playoffs, second place. They had the best defence in League One last season, 37 goals conceded in 46 games. That's pretty good,
Wow.
actually. It's really, really good. 78
And they all
goals is the
5.5.
same as Portsmouth and one less than Oxford United. So I guess defensively is where you would think they might be stronger. I'm just trying to get at their attacking stats.
I kind of liked the attacking, the two strikers combining. I mean, Yates and Caden Jackson.
Yeah,
They will
yeah,
score
Yates
some
could do alright.
goals.
I like Yates. He didn't do as well for Swansea last year as I thought he would, but I do like him. Just to say, in terms of their top scorers last season, Nathaniel Mendes-Lang got 9 goals and 15 assists. That's a lot. 24 attacking returns. He is a 6 million midfielder, and he could be one to look at in that 6 and 7 million bracket of anyone.
Yeah, but
James
he's got a baggage as well.
Yeah, James Collins got 14 goals and 2 assists, and that's your lot, really. So, yeah, I mean, there's none of interest to me. I guess Mendes-Lang goes on the watch list, and the defenders noted on the watch list.
Yeah, Derby County could be enablers for us, so that we can buy into some other premium players.
But let's say you're looking for a 4.5 defender or a keeper. Would you have like Cannon and Carter over these guys, like because they were so solid in the? Is that like 100% decision?
I don't know, because obviously it's such a big
I
step.
haven't watched Derby. Yeah, that's the problem. I haven't watched Derby County play at all, so can't comment like that. Have to watch the first few games, how they look, or at least watch in the preseason friendlies. Haven't watched the friendlies as well, but based on the players that we have seen in the Premier League and in the Championship previously, I think Caden Jackson, Jerry Yates, Mendes-Lang could be decent options. They did sold their goalkeeper. Otherwise, Will Smith could have been a decent option had he stayed at Derby County.
Yeah, I'm
But
just
I
asking
was-
because from the off you have like probably a defender or two that are 4.5 that you can like play in some games, and I see that the fixtures aren't the worst. Like Bristol at home, Cardiff at home. So you can like have that defender on the bench and just play him if the
good games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because but the problem is I don't know which players are going to start for them even.
Yeah, I might do something. I might check someone from Derby and ask them how they're gonna play, or look for some threads about Derby County playing, because I should have met someone. I think I have seen someone mentioning that they're gonna say how Derby County look after the preseason or whatever. So maybe I can find something about it, and then we can discuss whether it's good to look forward. Their defenders. I think it helps us certainly from the budget point of view.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the previous games. The third last game of the season, Bradley scored 2 goals, and he also scored against Stockport in the last friendly.
There you go.
Just a fun one.
Interesting.
Right, where are we having them in the table?
Relegation?
Like either that or like the last place before relegation, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bottom six for me, and probably relegation in terms of maybe not having enough goals. I do quite like their recruitment though. I mean, they could put up a fight. But yeah, I'll have them down there. And that brings our marathon session of 4.25 hours since we joined the call initially to a close. We have done it, and we've done it. We've done it, guys. Good job. I hope you found that useful. Obviously, we've flown through them reasonably quickly, but hopefully some useful thoughts there. If we can find the time, we would like to do one more preview pod maybe like a week or so before the season starts, maybe just under, where we cover boosts, do our table predictions and our drafts. And they'll be, they won't be final drafts, but they'll be close to final at that point. I always really enjoy that pod. That's some of my favourite pods, that one just before the season starts. So hopefully we can do that, and we can make predictions that will make us look very stupid in 10 months time. So that's what we'll hopefully potentially do, and then we'll be back at some point after that. Who knows? In case you're interested, we will not be covering Gaffr's Fantasy Scotland because we don't have a clue. But do give it a go, because obviously we all love a bit of Gaffr here, and I'm going to be attempting to play the game with very little knowledge. And I believe, is it called the Half Hour Fantasy Pod, who cover Fantasy Scotland pretty extensively. So check them out and give the game a go, because any Gaffr game is great. And Super League will be back. Not sure whether we'll do content on that. Maybe we'll do one or two. But Super League is apparently coming back, which is great news, because we also love Super League here, don't we? So yeah, looking forward to getting stuck into Super League again. Any final closing things to mention, guys, before we say goodbye?
I would say thank you for sticking around so long, even though our pods are mostly vibes and some useful things, but we love that people are still tuning in, and it's a good thing, and that you can still comment and ask us questions after so long. It's thank you all.
I second that.
And I think our tournaments will be back as well, respective Super League and Gaffr tournaments. We are not making a Scottish one because we are not going to play that much, so we are not going to make that one. In terms of Thursday night wars, still yet to confirm whether we're gonna play this season or not. More news will come ahead of the game week 1. More on that, and yes, that's about it, I guess.
Amazing. I can't believe how dark it is now in my room. I should have put a light on, but I didn't. It's been lit up by my screens.
Yeah, I did see like
the passage of time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for watching and listening, everybody, and we will see you soon. Enjoy your pre-season preparations in all your fantasy games that you're playing, and we'll see you soon. So it's goodbye from me.
Ha det bra.
Namaste from me.
Oh, we've done it.